Hey gang, it's Ray Glasser on Saturday, September 20th, 2025. And yes, we're doing another car video. About 2 years ago, when I got that 2015 Buick LeSabre, I said, this is it, I'm never going to trade, but I did. That car cost me a lot of money to maintain and keep in repairs, and it needed more, so I just opted to get the car I really wanted to get. A lot of firsts with this car. This is a 2020 Lincoln MKZ. This is the first hybrid I've ever owned. It's also the newest car I've ever owned. It's the most fancy car I've ever owned, and the most expensive car I've ever owned. I bought it about 2 months ago. I've been so busy, this is the first chance I've had to really do a video of the car, so we're going to get it done today while I actually have some free time, which is getting scarcer and scarcer as time goes on. No front license plate bracket in this thing. Don't need it here in Ohio anymore. This car is almost immaculate. This is a Florida car, meaning it has not gone through a Cleveland winter yet, which is wonderful. So that's one big plus. There's probably no rust on it. If you look carefully, there are a few dings on the side. Actually, I'm not even seeing, well, there's one right there. There's just some dirt. This thing needs a bath badly. But I'm going to pull this thing inside the garage so we don't have bright sunlight casting a lot of shadows and all that. And see what happens. Like many Lincolns, it has the keypad here. Now this is invisible for the most part. Most Lincolns had a keypad over here above the door handle. This is actually the second MKZ I've had. I bought a 2007 years ago that I just loved, but it didn't have any of the new modern conveniences like this thing does. So here's a shot of the interior in the sunlight with shadows, extremely clean. Let's go inside the garage and give this thing a thorough going over. Let's take a look at the trunk, which can be opened by hitting this little button right over here. And this thing opens up all the way, and I mean all the way, which is nice. Pretty spacious. I know over here is the hybrid battery, and that's behind this little door. And they say there's a real spare tire in this trunk, which is nice. And yes, this is as clean as it looks. The thing I like about this also is, finally I got a car where you can hit a button up here to close the trunk, and at night this is illuminated. That's sweet. Now that is sweet. Yeah. Here's the back seat. Extremely clean. And I got my nice light beige color again, which I love. Too many cars today have black interiors, and that's like the only choice you get. That's a center console that folds down with cup holders and, where am I? Little storage area right here. And what's nice about these seats is, like my Buick before this, there's a latch way up here. You pull this latch, these seats do fold down and increase your trunk space drastically. Both seats do fold. Notice how clean this is. This is absolutely like new, and I'm loving it. Also in the back you have vents for heating your air conditioning, and you have individually heated seats. And down here you have two USB ports and a regular, if I can get to it, AC outlet, which is really nice. And of course you have the usual pockets behind the front seat. Here's the driver's side door, opened up. And this is all soft. And this is actually a little light I found out, that if you lock the car, let me see if I can do this. If you lock the car, that thing lights up, which is kind of cool. Okay, so we have the usual lock and unlock. You have two position memory and all that. Now this car has 17 speakers. I don't know why a car needs 17 speakers. The upscale model has 20. There's only one trim level above this, and that has 20. I don't think I need 20 speakers in the car, but anyway, there's the tweeter, there's the mid-range, and down there is the woofer, and they sound amazing. Over here is your gas cap release, and guess what? Another feature I like about this car is there's no gas cap. You just stick the nozzle right in there to fill up when you want to fill up gas. It just goes right in there and it fits that exactly. So no gas cap in this car to lose or whatever, which I think is kind of cool. And one thing I like a lot is the Lincoln nameplate is illuminated at the entryway to both front doors, both driver and passenger, which is really cool. These seats are very, very comfortable. You have the usual seat controls over here. Nothing new there. But here's a shot of the front. Open the animation with a nice chime. So here's the front of the car. These seats are extremely comfortable. They're perforated. And they have the usual adjustable headrests and all that good stuff. This does have a sunroof, the smaller one, not the panoramic, which is fine because I never use it. And here's the driver's view. Nothing's happening until I turn the car on. This has got a push-button transmission, something I've never had. And one of the reasons I got this particular car is it's high mileage for the year. It's got 80,000 miles on it, actually 81. I had 80 when I bought it. But a lot of times, these litters here are literally rubbed off, just some wear. But this car, they look like new, and I'm going to make sure they stay that way. So here's your push-button transmission. On this side, there's 5 buttons here, but not all Lincoln trim levels have 5. They have the first 2. First one here is your eco mode to save gas. Below that is auto hold, which is a nice feature. When this is engaged, when you step on the brake, the brake's engaged even if you take your foot off the pedal. So you can be stopped at a light, hit the brake, take your foot off, and you're still in stop mode. Over here, your 4-way flasher. This is for self-parking, self-parallel parking. And this one takes away the annoying chime when you're getting too close to an object. That's how you defeat it. I just love this center console, just the way it looks. Here's your 8-inch touchscreen. It actually has a CD player, a single CD player. And the thing I like about this is it's not all touchscreen. You have a lot of actual buttons here. This turns on the stereo and is showing the source right now. And this has got a Revel sound system. It is terrific. So I'm going to shut that off. And here's your usual controls. Where am I? Here are usual controls for the audio. And here's your source. So right now I have an iPhone. That's my flash drive plugged into the USB port. AM, FM. And this does have Sirius XM, which I do have a subscription to, so I can play Sirius XM in the car. All right, below the audio controls, you have your heater controls, which I really like. This car, as you would expect, has great air conditioning and great heat. You turn this on over here to activate whatever you want. The AC is on, and I like this actual dial to control the fan speed, which you have right here, which is nice. This step-up model has both cooled and heated seats on both sides, and this is a heated steering wheel, which my Buick LaCrosse also had. Right now I'm in accessory mode, as my screen tells me right here. So I can push this button here in the steering wheel and say, okay, that's done. The engine light is normal to be on right now. So I'm going to go through the different screens that are available. And the way you can access the screens is by the steering wheel controls. This joystick controls what you see on the left side. This joystick controls what you see on the right side. One thing I noticed about this car after I've had it for a while, one thing I don't like is there are no gauges except for the gas gauge, which is right there. There is a gauge that shows the engine temperature, but again, it's buried in some menus. Nothing to show the oil pressure and nothing to show your battery voltage, which I kind of miss. Right now it's showing I have, let's see if I can get it here. I got the lights on. And let's see. Oh, what else can I show? Before I get into all these different displays here, down here are your light controls. And over there's your trunk release. And these two icons on both sides of this dial are to increase or decrease your brightness of your displays, which is kind of nice. A weird place to put it, but they are functional. Also, this car has almost what you could call a throwback to an old vent window from the 50s. Doesn't open up. It's just there for, I guess, design or whatever. All right, let's get into the different menus and whatnot that we have on this car. So as I'm just scrolling down, I put 1,437 miles on this car since I got it, averaging 40 miles a gallon. It is a hybrid. Here's trip 2, which doesn't really mean anything. That's my current speed in digital readout. These next two I'm not sure how to read. This is showing, I think, the hybrid battery versus your gas. That's why there's an engine icon on the lower right. I am averaging 40 miles a gallon. And there's another thing. I think this is a form of a tachometer. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the heck this is, but there's your engine temperature gauge. And there's your tire pressure. Tire pressure here is supposed to be, I think, 36 on all 4 tires. Let me go back to that. Now, the other side has a couple of different things to show. Here we go. Right now, it's showing the compass. It's showing entertainment. Now, let's see if I change the source. This will also change. Okay, now this is showing a CD playing, and what's cool is it's showing that this is track number 8 out of 25. That progress bar shows how far into the track I am, and the numbers show in minutes and seconds how far into the track I am, plus you have the title. And the thing I like about this too is it's still showing the direction, the range, and the outside temperature, which is nice. I do have an iPhone hooked up to this by Bluetooth, but right now it's not doing much anything. If I actually set in a route, this will actually help me to navigate it on the GPS. Fuel economy. This is a weird thing that Lincoln does. The more leaves you have, the better your fuel economy is. And it's also showing, of course, the range on this tank of gas. So that's what that shows. And that's really it for that side of the screen. The center is a typical speedometer, and it actually shows what gear you're in down here, and it also shows what gear you're in over here. When you turn the car on, it says ready to drive. You get an icon there, and the same icon down there, meaning it's ready to drive, because there's one thing about this car, there is no vibration, because it's a hybrid. You don't feel a thing. Windshield wiper, which has rain sense wipers, and you have the usual delay and all that good stuff on this. On the other side is your turn signal. We have flash to pass and all that cool stuff. Now on the end over here, this little button here activates a lane thing in here, which means if you're getting out of your lane, and this thing has a camera that reads the striping on the road, usually it's green, this will start to turn yellow and then red if you're way out of your lane. Doesn't work that well, I found out. And one thing I don't like is, if you're getting out of the lane, the steering wheel vibrates and steers you back into the lane, even if you have a turn signal on. So I pretty much have this disabled all the time. Okay, here's your main screen. We're going to hit the home button. And this thing is much more responsive than my Buick LaCrosse, but that was a 10-year-old car. Okay, you hit settings, and all your little icons come up. And I'm going to go through them real quickly. This can take a lot of time if I wanted to, but here are your sound settings: treble, mid-range, and bass, balance and fader, and you can scroll down. I'm not sure what the Revel Experience is. I never use it. That's your sound settings. The clock, there's your clock setting. No great shakes there. Bluetooth is on. So here are your phone settings, and again you can scroll down. And what I like is when I'm talking on my phone, it actually shows the battery level of the phone, which is nice. Here's Wi-Fi. I think you can actually make a Wi-Fi hotspot with this car. Navigation. Different ways of setting your navigation preferences. Mobile apps I never use. General. Here are your general settings. Display settings, which is kind of nice. Now there are some more. It's actually a second page. Automatic updates, Lincoln Way I never use. Vehicle. You can change these settings. Voice control, which I'd never played with, I'm afraid to. Okay, I'm going to go to the ambient light setting and show you guys how cool this is. The ambient light comes on, where am I here? When your headlights are on. Now these are the colors that you can get in this car, and the slider actually shows you how bright or how dim you're gonna make the ambient lighting. I like it bright. So I can make it yellow, I can make it white, I can make it aqua, I can make it red, blue, green, or even purple. And the nice thing is these ambient lights are in the door, above the kick panels, and even in the center console. And that's true for both sides of the car. I mean, this is just so darn cool. I love it. It's this kind of a orangish yellow. And there's white. But I like the aqua. Looks nice. And these come on when the headlights are on, I found out. And there's also some sub-menus down here for audio, climate, phone, navigation, apps, and settings. One thing I like about the apps is there's this really cool thing called Power Flow, which actually shows where the car is getting its power from. Now, right now, it's in idle mode, so it's not doing anything. Let me turn the engine on. And this just changed. Now, the blue is your battery. The white is showing your gasoline engine. And this thing does change when you drive. If you're under 25 miles an hour, you're almost always on the EV battery. When you're over 25, you're almost always on the gas engine. And by the way, this is what the center console looks like with everything closed. I think it looks kind of sweet. It's like brushed aluminum or something. Just nice. Nice, neat look. Well, if you open up this one, what do you get? Storage compartment and a little USB outlet there. This is the cup holders, obviously. That's what it looks like with these things opened up. And by the way, the ambient lighting shines in here. It's really cool. And here's the center storage area. I have a charging cord in there. There's also another USB socket. And I think there's also a small audio jack for a line input as well. And on this side of your steering wheel, underneath your joystick, you have controls for your cruise control. On the right side of the steering wheel, you have controls for your audio up and down, your phone controls, mute, answer, and hang up. Up here you have your usual sun visors with the mirror and all that. No great shakes there. In the center, you have a sunglass holder with a little bit of felt padding, which is kind of nice. Up here are controls for your lights. And this car, like my last car, my Buick, has a sunshade, which is really cool. Sunshade is now activated, and now it's going down. That is so neat. I love it. Over here, the other sun visor, nothing big over here. So that's basically the interior. A big part of the reason I bought this car is because of this. I just like this center stack, as they call it, the way it's very symmetrical, laid out well. I like the screen and what it shows. I like the fact there are actual buttons for your heating controls, and it's got a CD player, which for me is wonderful. And here's a passenger door opened. Again, extremely clean. Oh, by the way, there are also two storage bins over here under the center console, which is kind of unique. I've seen this on other cars. You can put whatever you want down there under the center console. And here is a hybrid engine on my 2020 Lincoln MKZ. Extremely clean, but again, this car came from Florida. I mean, this looks basically very new. But again, up till this year, no salt, no snow, no rust. So let's see what this looks like 5 years from now, assuming I still have this car. There's the engine. You get this nice animation. And this thing has something called welcome lighting. And one of my favorite points of the whole car was this. You get a Lincoln logo projected on the ground by one of the outdoor mirrors, which is really nice. I just love this to death. This is so cool. Plus, all four doors are illuminated. Let's try that again. Everything's fading out on me. All four door handles are illuminated, so you can see where the heck they are. You have the keypad here, and the interior lights are completely turned on. When you open it up, you get that beautiful Lincoln logo down here, illuminated, which I just love to death. And of course, the interior is nice and bright at night. Something else I like, one of the many things I like, is when you're backing up, this backup camera actually has two white lines that show you which direction the wheel is going as you turn the wheel. Really helps you in backing up. And one more thing I like about this car, if you get too close to something, the car will tell you. It's got sensors all over the place. See that? It lets you know you got to stop. Watch the side mirror when I lock the car. They fold in. How cool is that? A nice animation when it goes off. Cool.